Hello students, welcome to the chapter on quadratic equation. So today we'll do the topic 3 of quadratic equation, which is solving a quadratic equation by the method of factorization. So solving a quadratic equation can be said with the help of three names. So if you are said to solve a quadratic equation, that means you need to find out the value of the variable of the quadratic equation. Similarly, if you are asked to find out the roots of a quadratic equation, then also it means you are being asked to solve the quadratic equation. If you are said that find the zeros of the quadratic equation, then also it means the same, that you are being asked to solve the quadratic equation. Now, you will get two roots or two solutions after solving a quadratic equation. Okay. Now, there are three methods in which you can solve the quadratic equations. The first method is the method of factorization, second method is the method of completing squares, and the third method is using a quadratic formula. Our today's topic of discussion will be basically concerned about the method of factorization. So, what do you mean by factorization? Factorization means if you are given an equation, let us say in the form of 2x square minus x plus 1 by 8, and if you can put it in the form of something into something, that means if you can put it in the product form, then it is said that we have factorized this particular problem. Okay. So, today we will be learning how to solve quadratic equation using the method of factorization. Here we will be using the method of splitting the middle terms for factorization. All of you know how to split the middle terms, but still I will be repeating it so that if someone has some confusion in this particular topic, then they can clarify it here. So, our topic 3 is finding roots of a quadratic equation by the method of factorization. So, what is the question? The question will come in this form. Find the roots of the following quadratic equation by factorization, and this is the first question. What is the question? The question is x square minus 3x minus 10 equals to 0. This is a quadratic equation. Till now we have learned how to put something into a quadratic equation, but now we will learn to find out the value of a quadratic equation, means we will be learning how to find out the zeros or the roots of a quadratic equation, and this time we will be focusing on the method of factorization. So, how to do that? At first you write it x square minus 3x minus 10. Now, here we will be using the method of splitting the middle terms. Now, what is the method of splitting the middle terms? You have to see the coefficient of the square term. What is the square term? Square term is x square. What is the coefficient of x square? The coefficient of x square is 1. How to find out the coefficient? If you can just hide x square, and after hiding x square, what you are finding? You are finding nothing, that means you have 1. So, the coefficient of the square term is 1, and what is the constant term here? The constant term here is 10. So, 10 into 1 is 10. So, now with the help of 10, we need to make the middle term, which is 3x. So, how do we do that? For that we have to solve or factorize 10. So, for factorizing we can just do 2 into 5. Now, see, from the factors you have to add or subtract the factors in order to get the middle terms. Okay, and when you multiply the factors, you should get the term which is 10 here. Now, if I do 5 minus 2, we will get how much? 3x. So, what we can take? We can take 5 minus 2 here. So, what we will write? X square minus, if you give a minus here, just ensure that you give a bracket here. So, how can we get 3? 5x minus 2x minus 10 here. Now, if you have a minus here and the bracket, then in the next step the bracket will go away and the symbols will change. That means plus will become minus and minus will become plus. So, here what you will get? You will get x square minus 5x plus 2x minus 10. Before 5x we had plus, it became minus. Before 2x we had minus, it became plus. Now, you need to take common. What can you take common from the first two term? We can take x as common. So, we will get what? X minus 5. From the second, third and fourth term, what can we take common? We can take 2 as common. So, what we will get? X minus 2 into how much is 10? 5. So, from here now we will get x minus 5 common. So, what is left? X plus 2. Okay. Therefore, now we have solved the quadratic equation till this point. After that, what we need to do? We need to find out the zeros or the final part of this particular solution. Now, how to find out the final part? Now, you will write it as follows: x minus 5 equals to 0 or x plus 2 equals to 0. Obviously, we will write it in below, but since I have lack of space, so I am writing it here. So, x minus 5 I will get how much? 5. Now, x equals to this plus 2 will go that side and it will become how much? It will become minus 2. Therefore, what are the roots? Roots are, you can write in this form, 5 comma minus 2. Okay, this is the first question. Now, let us move on to the next problem, which is, so let us go to question number 2, which is root over 2x square plus 7x plus 5 root 2 equals to 0. Let us do it by the method of splitting the middle terms. So, at first we will write the question: root 2x square plus 7x plus 5 root 2. Now, what is the coefficient of the square term? Root 2. What is the constant term? 5 root 2. So, 5 root 2 into root 2 is, root 2 into root 2 is how much? It is 2. So, 5 2s are how much? 10. That means, from 10 we need to make how much? We need to make 7x. So, just factorize it, 2 and 5. So, 2 plus 5 or 5 plus 2 will give you how much? It will give you 7x. So, what we can do here? Root 2x square plus, since plus is there, no bracket is required now, we can write here as 5x plus 2x. You can either write as 2x plus 5x or 5x plus 2x, it does not matter because plus is addition is commutative, plus 5 root 2. So, from here what can be taken common? X can be taken common. So, if I take x common here, so what will I get here? Root 2 x plus 5. From the third and fourth term, what can be taken common? We can take common as, let us take root 2 common. So, if I take root 2 common, what will I get here? I will get here as, so root 2 into how much is 2? Root 2 into root 2 is 2. Here we have x plus root 2 into how much is 5 root 2? See here, root 2 into how much is 5 root 2. So, if 5 comes here, you will get 5 root 2. That means, what will be the next term? The next term will be 5. So, from here what can be taken common? Root 2 x plus 5 into x plus root 2. Okay. So, from here we can just find out the roots. Therefore, root 2 x plus 5 equals to 0, which will give us root 2 x equals to minus 5, implies x equals to minus 5 by root 2, or x plus root 2 equals to 0, which will give us x equals to minus root 2. Therefore, the roots are, what are the roots? The first root is minus 5 by root 2 and the second root is minus root 2. Okay, I hope you have understood this problem. Let us go to the next problem, which is question number 3. So, question number 3 is 2x square minus x plus 1 by 8 equals to 0. So, at first we will write the problem: 2x square minus x plus 1 by 8. Now, you can just take the LCM, which is 8. So, 2x square into, in down we do not have anything, means we have 1. 1 into how much is 8? 8 minus x into, in down we do not have anything, means we have 1. 1 into how much is 8? 8 plus 1 into 8 into how much is 8? It is 1 now. So what we'll get? We'll get as 16x square minus 8x plus 1 divided by, here we'll get 8. After that, what we need to do? We can just take 1 by 8 outside. So if I take 1 by 8 outside, we'll get 16x square minus 8x plus 1. Now what we'll do? Now we will do middle term factorization of 16x square minus 8x plus 1. So what is square term? What is the coefficient of square term? It is 16. What is the constant term? 1. So 16 into 1 is 16. From 16 we need to make 8. So let's make it. So 16, if we factorize it, 2 into 8, if we further factorize it, 2 into 4, further factorizing it, we'll get 2 into 2. So what is required here? We need to get how much? We need to get 8. So if we can do here like this, 2 into 2 is how much? It is 4. Here also 2 into 2 is how much? It is 4. So 4 plus 4 will get how much? We'll get 8. So now we have got the solution to our problem. So the factor will be 4 and 4. Now what we'll do? We'll just solve it. Just a minute, let me erase this part of the board. Yeah, so the factors are what? The factors are 4 and 4. So what we'll do here? I am writing the remaining part here. Obviously we will write in down. So it is 1 by 8 into 16x square minus, what we'll write? 4x plus 1. So we'll get as 1 by 8 into 16x square minus 4x plus 1. So from here, if I take 1 by 8 common, from the first two term, we'll get how much as common? We can take 4x as common. So 4 into how much is 16? It is 4. 1x is remaining here minus 1. So from the third and fourth term, is there anything common? There is nothing as common. So we can take minus 1 as common. So minus 1 into how much is 4x? It is 4x. Now here we require plus. So here we need to give minus, only then minus will become plus. 1 into how much is 1? It is 1 now. So here what we have got? We have got as 1 by 8 into 4x minus 1 into 4x minus 1. So now we can just find out the zeros, or we can go to the final step of solving this problem. So what we can write? Therefore 4x minus 1 equals to 0, or 4x minus 1 equals to 0. From here we can write 4x equals to 1 implies x equals to, with x 4 is multiplied. So if it goes to the other side, it will become what? It will become divide. So implies 4x equals to 1. So we are getting what? We are getting equal roots. So finally we will write as roots are 1 by 4 comma 1 by 4. I hope you have understood it. Let's go to the last problem of today, which is question number 4, which is 100x square minus 20x plus 1 equals to 0. So we'll write the problem, which is 100x square minus 20x plus 1. So here what is the coefficient of square term? It is 100. 100 into 1 is how much? It is 100 itself. So from 100 we need to make how much? We need to make 20. So here, so it's not necessary that you need to factorize by the lowest factor. If you can just get it in your mind at one step, then you can just do it like that. So for example, here we require how much? 20. So just I got it in my mind that 10 into 10 will be 100, and 10 plus 10 is how much? 20. So the factors can be 10 and 10 here. Okay. So with the help of it, we can split the middle term. So what we will write here? 100x square minus, then I will give a bracket, 10x plus 10x plus 1. So from here we will just remove the bracket, 100x square minus 10x plus 1. So from the first two term we can take 10x as common. So what will be remaining? 10 into how much is 100? 10. one x will be remaining, and we have taken 10x as common, so here 1 will be remaining. Here we do not have anything as common, so we can take minus 1 as so we can take minus 1 as common. So finally we will get here 10x. So here we require plus, so here it will be minus. So what are the final factors? 10x minus 1 and 10x minus 1. So now we can find out the roots. So therefore 10x minus 1 equals to 0, or this is the rough work, okay, 10x minus 1 equals to 0. So we will get 10x equals to 1 here. So x equals to 1 by 10. Here also we will get the same thing, 10x equals to 1. So x equals to 1 by 10. Therefore the roots are 1 by 10 comma 1 by 10. Okay, that's all about the third topic of quadratic equation. We'll see you again in the next time. So I hope that this session was useful. Thank you very much.